All right, welcome in everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about the Thursday night football props that I'm interested in, and then I'm going to go on to give some of my picks for this upcoming week. So I'm going to start out with tonight's game. It's the San Francisco 49ers versus the Green Bay Packers, with the 49ers being 7-point underdogs, depending on where you're looking at it. Some books still have it at 6.5. So just to start out, my lean is towards the 49ers at -7 in this game, but I probably won't be betting that one just because I don't feel super strongly about it, but I am leaning towards the 49ers to cover it. But the first pick that I'm going to be going with is Jerick McKinnon over 3.5 receptions at -108. I think the Packers have been very sensitive to running backs, obviously giving up a lot on the ground, but also in the air. When you look at it, they haven't given up like less than 3.5 receptions in really any game this year against running backs. So I think McKinnon should be able to get to 4, and I think his yards probably hit 2 at around 28. Next up, I'm going to be going with Robert Tonyan, anytime touchdown plus 200. I'm interested in this. I think somebody's got to score the touchdowns, and with the running back situation being kind of all over the place right now, with Aaron Jones out, along with the two backup running backs also being out, I think they're going to be less likely to run at the goal line. And I think we're going to see Tonyan have a chance at a touchdown. I think Adams has a chance at a touchdown, MVS, all these guys. But I think Tonyan gives the best value at plus 200 right here. Next up, I'm going to be going with Hasty at over 67.5 rushing yards at plus 120. I'm kind of all over the place in this one. I think the 49ers are going to come into this game trying to scheme Hasty to do the best they can and run all over the Packers defense that hasn't really been able to stop. But the thing is, Aaron Rodgers could just get up and just dominate this game. So I think Hasty will have to have a couple breakout runs to maybe be able to hit this if the game script doesn't go their way. But I think the value is there. Plus 120 is good enough. I think he will be the number one runner. I think McKinnon will be on the field for more passing downs. So I think you're kind of hedging your bets that way. I'm kind of thinking McKinnon can hit the rushing or receptions, and Hasty might hit the rushing. So we're kind of hedging a little right there. I'm not sure if both of them will hit, but I have a good feeling towards both of them. But I can definitely see why this is plus money for Hasty, because he's going to have to probably break off a run or two. Next up, we're going with Trent Taylor at over 4.5 receptions at plus 130. There's more value that I saw on the board. Taylor had 5 targets last week with their healthy wide receivers on the field. So now that they're all gone, he will be the number one. I mean, there's no real reason for Jair Alexander to shadow fucking Trent Taylor. So I think he can get this 4.5 receptions at plus 130. I'm not like super confident about it, but I just see this in the kind of game script where Rodgers jumps ahead early and they need to play catch up. And finally, I think MBS over 26.5 receiving yards at -114 seems pretty easy. I really like this one, actually. This really only takes one catch for MBS most weeks, honestly. And he's been struggling a little bit this year. I don't even think he's that great of a player, but throwing away from Verrett is going to be a good strategy for the Packers. Most teams, instead of even trying to challenge the number one for the cornerback for San Francisco, they just throw on the other side. The Dolphins did it. Preston Williams went off. I think MBS can easily hit 26.5 receiving yards, so I'm definitely locking that one in. And those are going to be my props for tonight's Thursday night game, so I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'm going to get into my picks for the rest of the week. Okay, and for the Sunday games, I'm going to be starting off with Panthers at plus 10.5 versus the Chiefs at -110. So the Panthers are 10.5 point underdogs right here, and I think this is a good spot. I think the way that you beat the Chiefs or even make it close is you just grind it out against them on the ground. With Christian McCaffrey possibly coming back this week, I think it gives them a chance to do that. Even if he doesn't come back, I think Davis has done a fine job in his replacement. And even if they are down 17-ish, in the fourth quarter or something like that, which I don't necessarily anticipate, but let's even say that the game script gets away from them. I think with targets like DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, I don't think they're going to be too far off them, honestly. I think they can have big chunk plays to make up for it if the running game isn't there. I think this number just seems way too high. I know the Chiefs are the best team in football without a doubt, but I think the Panthers can at least contest them and stay close. So I'm definitely going with Panthers right here. Next up, we got the Texans at 6.5 point favorites versus the Jags at -110. the Jaguars are going to be throwing out some random dude at quarterback this week. So I'm not sure what confidence anyone would have for the Jags. Maybe this guy is great, but it feels like the Texans need a feel-good spot right here with Deshaun Watson. They didn't unload everyone at the trade deadline. I don't think they're going to be competitive this year, but I think they win this game by more than 7 points. So this one seems pretty easy to me. And finally, for the spreads, we're going to be going with Falcons at -3.5 versus the Broncos. The Broncos just aren't set up to beat a team like the Falcons. Their defense is solid, but I don't think they'll be able to stop Matt Ryan. And then vice versa, the Broncos quarterback play from Drew Lock has been fine, but he's really going to be able to take advantage of the bad defense of the Falcons? I don't think so. I think 3.5 points is enough to lay for the Falcons, who I think will probably win this game. I'm not really going to watch this game. I'm not super interested in it, but I think this is a good spot for the Falcons. And finally, I'm going to be going over a money line parlay that I like for this week. And that's going to be the Titans money line against the Bears, the Seahawks money line, the Washington football team money line, and the Houston Texans money line. So that adds up to plus 399, and then also if you add in the Panthers at plus 10.5, which I will be doing, it's plus 852. So I think all these teams have a good chance. I think the Seahawks are playing against the Bills this week, and I think they definitely win that game, even if they don't cover the spread. Washington plays the Giants this week, and I think they win that game. And they're favorites, actually. And then Houston, I think they win that game pretty easily. So plus 400 and plus 852 are both good values in my opinion. And those are the parlays I'm going to be going with this. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Those are my picks for Thursday night and my Sunday spread picks. I'm going to be going over Sunday player props. That video will be out on Saturday. Appreciate it.